Hi, I'm Gary White for Central Kentucky Television. I'm here with Lizzie Spalding at the Marion County Extension Office. And today, we're going to make fish tacos.
Yes.
And even though you're not a fan of fish, you're still going to make some tacos for us, right?
Yes, I am. I thought, February is always a good month for those either fish or vegetarian recipes.
That's right.
Especially here in Marion County because we have a large Catholic population.
That's right. So this is something good for Lent.
Right. A lot of people are going to have those meatless Fridays, and so I thought, well, this is actually in the 2016 Food Nutrition Calendar.
Okay.
But this is a summer recipe, and I think this would be an amazing summer recipe. But I thought I'm going to go ahead and fix it because none of this stuff is actually seasoned. It's not seasonal produce or anything that you're going to have to be in the summer be able to get it fresh. So.
Right. So we'll make it now. So exactly.
Exactly.
So keep it in mind for later in the summer too, because I know if you do take part in Lent and eat fish, that by the time Lent's over, you're tired of fish. So by the time of the summer, you might want it again.
Right. And it's a light and refreshing.
Exactly.
We're going to use some vegetable oil to cook our fish. Now for your fish, it just calls for a pound of fish fillets. I have purchased here some tilapia.
Okay. So it's a fish, whatever your preference is.
Whatever your preference is. You could use catfish, bass, tilapia. So I was telling you earlier, I typically tend to go towards tilapia whenever I'm doing any kind of recipe with an optional, you can choose your fish because I think that it has the least
fishiness to it.
Yes, it's the mildest flavor.
There you go.
I think, yeah.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Yes, I was trying to phrase that.
It's not as fishy.
Nicely. We're going to use taco seasoning. I did buy the reduced sodium, trying to be good here. We're going to use a little bit of lime juice, some honey, some low-fat mayonnaise, coleslaw mix, which we've got in the bag here. Now, if this was summertime and you were fixing this, you might have your own cabbage and carrots and things out in the garden that you want to cut up, so that would make it a little bit better, those fresh produce. And we're going to use a small onion, and then we've got some corn tortillas.
Okay.
So, not a whole lot. A lot of this stuff you probably already have either in the fridge or in the pantry.
Absolutely.
First thing we're going to do is we're going to turn our skillet on over here.
And it's a rather healthy-ish meal, right?
Yes.
Continuing our eating healthy in 2016.
Yes,
plan.
and it's still February, so hopefully everybody hasn't already fallen off the wagon with the diet and exercise. We're going to put 2 tablespoons of oil in here for our fish.
But see, if you eat this, you don't have to diet and exercise as much because it's healthy.
Less to work off.
Exactly. So 2 tablespoons of your oil.
2 tablespoons of oil. Got that in there.
And that's canola, so is that like a better, less fattening option?
All oil is not the greatest for us, but the 2 tablespoons really is not a whole lot, and we've got that in there just so our fish doesn't stick. You have to have that when you're going to cook with meat, so, as long as we're not going overboard, it's okay.
It works.
It works.
Again, maybe in the summer too, if you're a fisher person,
oh, exactly.
you could actually make this with your own
fresh fish.
Fresh caught fish.
Be really good.
Yeah. We have done an outdoor segment in the past with some fisher people.
Fishermen?
Yeah. And they got some good fish out at Sportsman's Lake here in Marion County and some of the other places around the Tri-County area too.
You're sizzling already.
The good thing about fish too is it doesn't take too long to cook it.
That's exactly right. It cooks pretty quickly.
So being fast and efficient is a good thing too.
Get me wipe my hands on here. And we're gonna sprinkle 1 tablespoon of lime juice over those while those are cooking.
Okay.
Get a little bit of our taco flavor there.
So sizzling away.
Sizzling here. And then we're also going to sprinkle over there a teaspoon of taco seasoning. Open that up. You're going to get a teaspoon of that out, and you're going to sprinkle that over our fish.
Okay, it's giving us some nice flavor there.
Yes.
And that can be as spicy as you like or not, right?
Yes, because they do make those different flavors, temperatures of taco seasoning.
And you like spicy.
And I like spicy, so if I was making this at home, I would have probably got the hotter one, but I'm abiding by what the recipe calls for.
So you're cooking up your fish here. Pick whatever kind you like.
Here.
Tilapia is also good just because it's not maybe as fat too as.
Right. Well, fish is always a good choice because it is a lean meat.
So all fish is pretty lean.
Yes, it's a good source of protein because it is lean. So it's a good thing for you if you're going to eat some fish this month.
See, it's already helping. That's why, maybe that's why it ended up being like Fish and Friday or with Lent and stuff, because at the beginning of the year you need some help to
to stay on
in the
track.
diet and stay eating well.
Got our one side cooked pretty well. We're just going to wait on that other side to cook up there.
Okay.
And while we're doing that, we're going to stir together. We're going to use 2 more tablespoons of lime juice. We're going to stick that in this bowl over here.
This comes pretty quick and easy to your fish. Do you like limes?
I like all citrus fruit, so
You're a citrusy person.
I'm a citrusy person. Exhausted that one. Well, let's get our backup here.
Do you like limes or lemons better?
Probably lemons, but I do like limes too.
That's really good for you too, so you don't get some
Make sure our fish isn't sticking.
diseases. It's good. You need some citrus fruits.
Well, and citrus is good, we know, in the winter because it's good for our immune system. So.
Is it really? Okay.
I think this fillet is getting close to being done. These other ones are a little bit thicker. Let that cook for a little bit longer. All right, so we've got our lime juice in. We're going to put our honey in here. 3 tablespoons of honey, so quite a bit of that.
It's going to be nice and sweet.
Well, you've got the tartness with your lime juice. So you're sour, so yes, we're going to have a little bit of sweet to offset that.
Yeah, sets it off nicely.
Go in there.
And honey is another thing that you can occasionally get locally as well.
Yes, in the summer they do have that every now and again at the local farmers market.
And if you do have honey that you've had around for a while and you're worried about it, don't worry, because honey doesn't go bad.
It crystallizes a little, but doesn't mean you need to throw it out.
They found some honey from the Egyptians in like different, I guess, in the pyramids or what have you, and it was still good. People could eat it thousands of years later. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. I don't know that I
would have tried. Like,
I don't know that I would have done that, but you know.
Here, come here, try this honey. That's like when my mom would like smell the milk and then she's like, here, taste this, see if it tastes right.
You taste it. And we're going to put in 1/2 cup of low-fat mayonnaise.
Low fat, keeping it.
Low fat, right?
better option. Save on the fat wherever you can. This is a complex recipe.
It's not too much going on.
There's lots of elements to it, which makes it fun.
And so we're just gonna mix those together. That's gonna be our dressing.
Here we're making fish tacos, and you can find the recipe for the fish tacos in the 2016 Food and Nutrition Calendar that you can get at any of the extension offices. It's actually a summer recipe, but you can utilize it whenever, of course. And you can use whatever kind of fish you like if you have a preference. The fatter it is, it takes a little while, doesn't it?
Starting to cook up though, you can see there.
Yeah, it looks good. Looking good. Good job.
All right, so we've got our dressing mixed for that, and the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add 2 cups of coleslaw mixture to that. Scoot that over.
And again, you can, if you have your own makings for coleslaw, utilize that, or when the weather gets nicer, go out there and buy locally at some of the farmers markets. It's always nice to support our local farmers in their efforts as well. I tried growing some cole crops like this, you know. Actually, I tried doing broccoli and cauliflower, and it did not work for me.
No green thumb?
I'm not a good farmer. I'm a better buyer of vegetables.
As long as you're eating the vegetables.
Right.
And fresh is always best.
I love broccoli. Do you like broccoli?
I do. I do love broccoli.
And actually, this is the time of the year when you start growing some of these different things, right? Coming up.
Yeah.
When it's cold weather. So how many people are we going to be serving with this?
It actually makes 4 servings, but each serving is 2 tacos. So.
Oh, 8 tacos.
Yeah, 8 tacos.
Okay. Coleslaw looks good too.
I think this piece is about finished.
So when you're cooking fish, how do you know what to do? Just kind of a look, make sure it turns a...
Right, when you first stick it in, it's going to start getting white around the edges of the fish, and that's about whenever you want to flip it over, because you don't want to burn one side before you start cooking the other. You just want to watch and, you know, like any meat, make sure the pink is gone out of there. As you can see, it's turned white. Was not white when we first stuck it in.
So it's all the way through.
Yes, and with fish, as it starts, you can see this is kind of flaking off a little. Fish starts to get flaky once it gets done. So that's what we're looking for.
It's a little fishy and flaky.
White and flaky. What we're looking for.
Looks good.
And I don't know, some people are a little different than me. I kind of like my meat more done, especially like this. If you're cooking that in the summer and you've got it in the skillet, so it's frying up. I like mine a little browner, I guess.
Yeah. Little crispy edges too.
Little crispy edges. We're also going to cut up some onion, and we're going to stick in this mixture right here.
So you can see you cutting that onion.
You can see me cutting.
Make sure you don't cry. We've talked before, there's really nothing you can do about that, right?
I have found that whatever tricks I have tried, it really just depends on the onion. Some are, are stouter than others.
Now, does it only affect the person who's cutting it? Like, if I'm standing here, is it that person too, you know?
Well,
isn't that weird?
That is.
Let's find out.
We'll find out.
I'll stand back over here.
Usually if I'm not the one cutting the onion, I try to steer clear because I don't want to be the one crying.
So you put the whole onion in?
It calls for half of a medium onion. We've got kind of a smaller onion, but I'm only going to put maybe half to 3/4 of this in. We don't want the onion to be overpowering. You know, you can see there's not a whole lot of coleslaw mixture there. It's plenty, but you don't want that to be overwhelmed with onion flavor.
You don't want them crying foul when they're eating it.
Exactly.
And a white onion or whatever kind of onion you have on hand is fine. Yeah. And it's important when you are chopping and stuff like this that you have good utensils as well, right?
It is. You're a lot more, way more likely to get cut using a dull knife than you are with a sharp one.
Isn't that interesting? No tears.
No tears. It wasn't. It was a good onion. It was good to me.
Trying to mix this up?
Yes. Gonna be my assistant, Gary. You
Exactly.
can mix that up there. Get our fish off of here. You can see that is falling apart. So I know it's good and
Looks
done.
good. Yeah, you're gonna make
Fish
so.
looks good and tasty.
Each person's gonna get like half a fillet in each of their tacos, or a whole
You're
fillet,
gonna
I guess.
put you're gonna break these up a little bit to put in those tacos, but still it's gonna make quite a bit. Move these over and out of the way. Then we're gonna start to assemble.
So it's fish tacos. Find it in the 2016 Food and Nutrition Calendars. And are we using a healthy, more whole wheat or something? Is that
Well, the
what-
recipe calls for corn tortillas.
Corn, okay.
So I am following the recipe. Now, you know that we always say that whole grains, we need our whole grains. So if you wanted to use some whole wheat tortillas, definitely do that. Definitely do that. So we're gonna range our fish in here. This was a little bit of a smaller. And then we're going to top it with some of our coleslaw mixture here. And then if you wanted to, you could dress this up however you like. You could put some fresh peppers in there. You could add some cilantro on top. You could put some avocado on there. However, whatever you wanted to do with that.
Looks good. Good job.
A fish taco meal.
Then you just fold it over and eat it.
Fold it over and eat it. You could put a salad with this, some fresh fruit, and have a whole meal that is very healthy for you.
Sounds good. So this is the fish taco. You can find the recipe in the 2016 Food and Nutrition Calendar. This has been Gary White with Lizzie Spalding at the Marion County Extension Office.